I was certainly not prepared for Systemsprenger, which is a new German film available on Netflix. A 9-year-old girl named Benny is looking for love and acceptance, but she pushes away most everybody with her extreme energy and behavior. This is a heartbreaking film to watch. We find out that Benny has experienced trauma and probably even abuse throughout her short life. Now, we're not shown specifics necessarily, and we're not shown everything that happens or could have happened, but we are told about one instance, and it's just terrible. Helena Zengel plays Benny, and she's got a tough role because Benny is not a likable character through most of that. She's prone to just outbursts and violence. Now, it would be easy to dismiss this performance as simple because, how hard is it to just scream and yell? But there is a nuance that is brought to this. Even while Benny is screaming like a banshee, there are looks of innocence, of confusion, of hurt, of longing, of wanting to be loved and accepted. And to combine all of that simultaneously, that's rough and that's hard to do, but Zengel pulls it off really, really well. I like that Benny isn't a one-dimensional character. She's very complex. I found myself pissed at her and at the exact same moment wanting to just scoop her up and hug her and tell her that the world is going to be okay. This film produces so much anxiety and tension, both from Benny's behaviors and all of the circumstances and happenings around her. Now, in this, there are very frenetic shots at times where it's just extreme up close, very flashy and blurry, and we can't really tell what's going on or what's being seen. We get glimpses here and here and here, and then extremely close and everything. But a lot of those are also occurring in Benny's dreams. So it makes sense that it would be a jumbled mess, especially with somebody who has experienced trauma. There's also times where we're running behind Benny, and it's kind of a shaky cam, but the camera is in step with her running. And so it really feels like we are running after her, that we have been brought into the film at these times. And it's an insane thing to watch, and it sucked me in even more. There are a couple of other key performances in this that are amazing, but gut-wrenching also. Benny's mom is played by Lisa Hagmeister, and you see and feel her dilemma. And what that really does is bring into question, as you see all of the circumstances, everything that's going on between the two, and you kind of ask yourself the same question of, what would I do in this situation? Now, I believe that I would act differently. Even though it is an extreme circumstance that she finds herself in, and it can be terrifying, and at points it was brutal and terrifying. And you also figure what else is in her home life, the mom's home life, where she has to protect herself and her other kids from Benny. But it also comes into question of how much of this is she causing or allowing as well. Benny has a social worker played by Gabriela Maria Schneid, and wow, she has a tough role also because she is along for this entire journey that Benny has been going through. She's there the entire time. And sometimes she's more of a mom than Benny's mom is. But other times, she has to put her foot down. And she also has to be Benny's advocate. And I just love the caring concern that she puts forward in her character. And you get to see utter heartbreak also. I'd venture to say that it could make you cry in this one scene because it is just so terrible of the circumstances that happen. Finally, there's Mika, played by Albrecht Schuch. So much empathy, sympathy, caring, and toughness all at once. It's exactly what Benny needs in this. And there's a moment in the film where Mika utters the line, "Stay put," and it wrecked me. And in context, it's a devastating line. Now, the title of this, Systemsprenger, comes from the fact that Benny is shuffled through the system, that nobody can or wants to take her because of her extreme behavior, her extreme violence, all of her just outbursts. And so she just crashes through the system, leaving this swath of debris behind her. This is a really interesting character study, and it's tough to watch. It is brutal. It is not a happy-go-lucky thing at all. And at times, you are on this roller coaster ride just like Benny, where we feel angry at her mostly when she's being angry or she's having outbursts. We feel compassion when she's this soft and she's a 9-year-old girl. You see that how broken she is in certain spots, and so you want to reach out. You want to love on her, and then you want to slap or do other things to the person or people that caused the trauma in her life. It's 2 hours of agitation and discomfort. And if you're up for it, it is an amazing film to experience. There's no sex, nudity, a ton of profanity, and a lot of violence. I give System Crasher 4.5 out of 5 couches. So do you enjoy stressful films? What's one that you really like that just is anxiety producing? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share it around and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.